This is the story of the River Dee Bridge disaster. A new bridge across the River Dee was needed for the Chester and Holyhead Railway, a project planned in the 1840s for the expanding British railway system. It was built using cast iron girders produced by the Horseley Ironworks, each of which was made of 3 large castings dovetailed together and bolted to a raised reinforcing piece. Each girder was strengthened by wrought iron bars along the length. It was finished in September 1846, and opened for local traffic after approval by the first Railway Inspector General Charles Pasley. On the 24th of May, 1847, the carriages of a local passenger train to Ruabon fell through the bridge into the river. The accident resulted in 5 deaths, 3 passengers, the train guard and the locomotive fireman, and 9 serious injuries. The bridge had been designed by George Stephenson, and a local inquest accused him of negligence. Although strong in compression, cast iron was known to be brittle in tension or bending, yet the bridge deck was covered with track ballast on the day of the accident, vague, to prevent the oak beams supporting the track from catching fire. Stephenson took that precaution because of a recent fire on the Great Western Railway at Hanwell, in which a bridge designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel had caught fire and collapsed. The investigation was one of the first major inquiries conducted by the newly formed Railway Inspectorate. The lead investigator was Captain Simmons of the Royal Engineers, and his report suggested that repeated flexing of the girder weakened it substantially. He examined the broken parts of the main girder, and confirmed that it had broken in 2 places, with the first break occurring at the center. He tested the remaining girders by driving a locomotive across them, and found that they deflected by several inches under the moving load. His conclusion was that the design was basically flawed, and that the wrought iron trusses fixed to the girders did not reinforce the girders at all. The same conclusion was reached by the jury at the inquest. Stephenson's design had depended on the wrought iron trusses to strengthen the final structures, but they were anchored on the cast iron girders themselves, and so deformed with any strain on the bridge. Stephenson maintained that the locomotive derailed whilst crossing the bridge, and the impact force against the girder caused it to fracture. However, eyewitnesses said that they saw the girder break first, and that the locomotive and tender were still on the track at the far side of the bridge. Indeed, the driver raced onto the next station to warn of the accident and prevent any traffic using the line. He then came back on the other side and drove to Chester, where he gave a similar warning. A subsequent Royal Commission, which reported in 1849, condemned the design and the use of trussed cast iron in railway bridges, but there were other failures of cast iron railway underbridges in subsequent years, such as the Wootton Bridge collapse and the Bull Bridge accident. Similar failures occurred in the Invereithon crash and the Norwood Junction crash. All the structures used untrussed cast iron girders, and generally failed due to blowholes or other casting defects within the bulk material, which were often completely hidden from external view. The Dee Bridge was later rebuilt using wrought iron and still stands to this day.